My original plan for the day was to step into Galaxy's Edge over there at Disneyland and spend, as the recording of this, May the 4th, Star Wars Day. For the first time ever, would have been in Black Spire Outpost. It would be happening. But not this year. So I'm taking my appropriate bag full of goodies up to Hollywood Boulevard for a little history of the film. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, sporting this particular t-shirt for the occasion. I thought it would be fun to just wander around and look at some of the stars that are placed along the ground from the actors from the original trilogy, as well as where the movie premiered back in 1977, which is just right here, one block up, and the handprints that are in front as well. I'm inviting you to join me, and there's some good stuff in this bag I'm going to utilize. Shall you? One thing that's really cool about this area is you never know what's going to pop up in the form of artistic renderings. Carrie Fisher has been drawn, painted, I should say, on the side of this electrical box. This is really, really neat. And it ties into the subject matter. The Walk of Dames is a collaboration between the Hollywood Arts Council and local artist John Casey Harris. He's the creator of this. Now naturally during these times it might make it an unusual situation in order to get a really close view of some of these here in the concrete, because I cannot cross this particular gate. However, I'll figure something out. I'll figure it out. There goes a classic vehicle, which is interesting because this retro photo also shows some from that era as well. Ooh, the person on the skateboard just kind of startled me. They got a little close. They went right by me. Close proximity. They have built on quite a bit since '77 here to the right. Yep, quite a bit. But the theater's still there. Across the left-hand side of the structure, there used to be a marquee right above that little archway, as portrayed right here in this photograph. You can tell where it used to be, saying no episodes, just Star Wars. Here's another really good one. Look at that crowd for the opening. Goodness gracious. Lining it up with its modern day counterpart. Notice the Roosevelt Hotel signage there, top left corner above the herd of people. That angle would have been right about here, and another one of those billboards. It's placed right up there with the scrawl going across. And there was a sea of folks right here waiting patiently. That must have been very exciting to witness, to be there on the day. I'll step back over here momentarily, but just kind of cruise the perimeter and show off some of these items that are on the ground pertaining. The Walk of Fame, which at this moment is relatively barren of tourists and locals, only a few. It just so happens that the actor that played Luke Skywalker and the actor that played Han Solo are on the same side of the road next to the El Capitan Theater in that area. Mr. Mark Hamill. And I brought a little something for the occasion. Now I know it is not what some people refer to as New Hope Luke. This is Empire, but it's still from the original trilogy. I do not own the '77 edition. But I have placed him, at least his character's representation, in his favorite mode of transportation from the first few moments, well, into the beginning portions of the first movie. Right there. Take a ride. Nailed it. And yes, I know, he has done a heck of a lot of other work, voice acting, other characters, fictional pieces that he has done throughout the course of his career. But for the sake of this subject matter and this video, Luke was played by Mark Hamill. And that's a star. I might be incorrect in my first assumption when I stated that Harrison was also on this side of the street. I believe he is right over there near Foot Locker. Only one way to find out. But before crossing over there, I see a droid down here. That might not be the droid I'm looking for, but it still looks like a droid from the series. Boy, I am just way off. It's not even down there. The second round, did figure out it's on this side, directly across from his co-star is the actor that played Han Solo, Mr. Harrison Ford. And fret not, old school character placement will be happening on that star as well. I can't even begin to name off the laundry list of acting jobs this gentleman has displayed that I love. But for the sake of this subject matter, just gonna stick with Solo for now. And I think it's fairly safe to say, no matter who you are, you love that role. I know. As of current day, Carrie Fisher does not have a star, but I was reading that by 2021, there will be availability. So it's possible. It's possible. And speaking of Carrie, there was a nice placard a few years ago that was placed by the doors over there to the entrance to the theater. As far as I know, she does not have handprints here. However, that plaque is located right over there above her mom's foot and handprints. You can kind of see it. It's the silvery item at the base of that lion or a tiger. Oh my, yeah, you can see it there right there at the base next to those stanchions. And that bird just flew right over the top of it. This is the next best thing, just to show you what it looks like. December 14th of 2017 is when it was placed there. It says, dedicated to Carrie by the TCL Chinese Theater, her Star Wars home since 1977. Beloved by fans worldwide. That's cool. Should also show this one. That's Darth Vader and 3PO putting their feet into the concrete. That was back in 77, August of 77, I believe. They actually put their feet in the concrete right in front of the theater. I'll show you where. And it is easily visible even with these gates that are placed up here. You can see right down there. Just kind of peek over a little more. Of course it is obscured just a tiny bit, you know, by the shadows of these stanchions. But the date stamp here says August 3rd of 77. And R2's prints are also down there. So you got R2-D2, and in the C-3PO suit was Mr. Anthony Daniels himself, which I don't believe Prowse was in the Vader suit, but Anthony Daniels, according to this, was, and Kenny Baker, I don't believe was in the R2. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the only one of the actors that were in the suit. But the characters were here, documenting this for posterity. And right above those is George Lucas here on the left, next to his pal Steven Spielberg. And that was back on 5/16/84. I kind of lucked out that they are all clustered here near the front, so I'm able to see them. And Harrison's hand and feet prints are here as well, dated 1992. So of the three of this grouping, this is the elderest, would be the 77 one here at the very front, right next to the stars themselves. It might be tough to see them from here, but I got my Vader figure there on the right, in the middle 3PO and R2 on their corresponding footprints. They're just hanging out here on the boulevard, enjoying the sights and the sounds of the little bit of traffic that's cruising by. Celebrating the day. Good to see you guys. I see you have constructed a plastic lightsaber. Well done. Seems like it's kind of, like almost looks like it's melting. Huh. Now I was not here during that premiere, but oh, what a moment it must have been. It wasn't even called New Hope yet. It just had the original name. That's all anyone knew it as. No episodes, no New Hope. We're talking old school. And how often can you stand in the middle of the boulevard to get this angle? Not too often. In all honesty, this is turning out to be a pretty good day for this historic festive occasion. May the 4th, as the recording of this is anyway. Really is just so much history at this place. Can't even count everything that's happened there. I did also bring along original Leia figure as well. With that very iconic hairstyle. Of course, also in the same neighborhood is the Scum and Villainy Cantina, which is all closed off at the moment. Well, it looks as if an employee is just kind of ducking in there. She better be careful though. There's a, I think Greedo might be in there. Oh no, we're good. He's already exited. He's not allowed. You're not allowed in there, Greedo. Currently, during these situations, you're not allowed to be inside the cantina. I know you want to be, but you just got to be patient. Got to be patient. And I know you are definitely a controversial subject when it comes to whether you were the one who fired first or not. That is a pretty neat place when they're normal. Whoa, what the? He's tagging along. He's like hoisted there on my shoulder. Get off of my shoulder, Greedo. I didn't invite you. Whew, I think I lost him. He was a tough one to shake, but he didn't realize that the Walk of Fame is not only on Hollywood Boulevard, but also on Vine Street. So I took a hard turn, and that's where I am now, looking for the last star. I guess it wouldn't hurt to just look over here on the other side, and to be honest, I was not even thinking about Billy D. I was going with the first movie. But there you go, got Lando. Okay, I'm looking for Obi-Wan. He's around here somewhere. I have found Sir Alec Guinness. Quite the resume of what he has done. But for the sake of this, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Also, another fun fact is you can see how some of them have the face mask that is for theater, and then some of them have a record that is for radio, but most, well, I would say a good percentage of them have the movie camera. For example, Alec Guinness here, he has a old school movie camera on his, and that was how his star is dedicated for his work. There are some iconic names that just off the top of my head I was thinking would definitely, I was proved wrong, I thought they would definitely be placed here in the sidewalk. John Williams, James Earl Jones, nowhere to be found yet. Kind of odd, right? Drove over to Forest Lawn. That satellite you see up there on the top of the mountain, just over that other peak would be the iconic Hollywood sign. Had to stop off over here. Only one day apart. For her mother. They were very close. December 27th, 2016. I really can't reiterate enough how many different roles anyone that I've shown throughout the course of this episode has done, but there are certain ones of those that their performances or part of their resume that stick with you, something that you've seen multiple times, and you can feel as if maybe you don't know the person, but you know that character. So taking yourself away from the character, from the person, I don't want to stress enough that they do so much more than just that one role. But most of us will remember her as Princess Leia. Television and movies, the way they're presented and the long-lasting effect from watching them, some for 30, 40 years on a regular basis, it holds a special place in your heart. It just goes without saying. And in all reality, if you had to pick top 5, top 3, top 2, dare I say top 1 when it comes to huge congregation, pop culture fandom, the Star Wars trilogy, not even the trilogy, the universe that it has become, the expanded universe, the original 3 plus the sequels, the prequels, the Disney versions. There's just so much to sink your teeth into. There really is nothing the magnitude and the size. There are other franchises that are massive in their expansiveness, but I think this is probably the number 1. If you had to say, if I was to say, this would be the number 1. I'll see you guys in the next video. The vlog. Also, sidetrack for a second. Think about it. May the 4th be with you. The only reason anyone is celebrating it is because it rhymes with May the Force be with you. Gotta love it. The vlog. Just wanted to show this one last time. Next year we'll be in Galaxy's Edge celebrating together. It's what I originally was going to do, but this worked out great. I'm glad I did this. The vlog is over.